Hey everybody, and welcome to the month of May. Just like I did with Xbox's Games with Gold, today I'm going to look at the games that come free for anybody that has a PS Plus subscription. There's 2 games for each system, as always, and they will all become free on May 1st. So let's jump right into the list. Starting with the PS4, we first have Rayman Legends, the legendary platformer that was released back in 2011. This game received praise from a number of critics, and got a 90% from Metacritic. Rayman Legends is a platformer, and a challenging one at that. There's tons of collectibles for you to go after, and the level designs from world to world are all unique and creative. Though it may seem like a typical platformer, it plays differently, and takes some getting used to. That isn't to say that it isn't well done, as the controls are great, it's just different from the typical Mario or Sonic platformer. This game also has an incredible co-op mode, where you can either work together or screw over your friends as you try to trudge through the level. We've played it on this channel before in fact, and had a blast yelling at each other along the way. This game is highly recommended by many, and is well worth downloading. Up next we have Beyond Two Souls, which goes along perfect with the upcoming release of Detroit Become Human. Both games come from Quantic Dream, and are interactive dramas with intense storylines. In Beyond Two Souls you play as Jodie, who is connected with a paranormal being known as Aiden. The game takes you throughout her life, from childhood to adulthood, as you see her learn to cope with this identity and the struggles of trying to live a normal life. Admittedly, the choices you make are not as intense and altering as Heavy Rain was, but it's still fun to see how the story unfolds, and there are several different endings depending on the path you choose to take. Beyond Two Souls received mixed reviews, with a 72% on Metacritic, but it's worth picking up if you enjoy these interactive movie style of games. Though not as deep and memorable as Heavy Rain was, Quantic Dream still did a good job with this one. The last PS4 game on our list is also available on the PS Vita and the PS3, and it's King Oddball. Admittedly, this game feels like a poor man's Angry Birds, since it involved pressing one button to shoot a rock at different targets. The challenge comes in the strategy, since there's often more targets than rocks, meaning you have to plan out how and where you're going to aim your ammunition. I wouldn't really recommend this game in any other situation, but since it's free, there's no reason not to try it out, since it does have some perks, even if the fun can wear off fast. It received a 64% on Metacritic. The only other game coming out for the PS Vita this month is Firmance. Like King Oddball, this is a puzzle game, and a pretty simple one at that. You have to interact with glowing objects on the terrain to push these Firmans into their basket. When you do that, you beat the level. This game received a 69% on Metacritic, so it falls slightly higher than King Oddball, but it's nothing incredible. PS Vita doesn't really have much coming out for it this month. And lastly, we have the PS3 games. As we mentioned earlier, King Oddball will be one of the games coming to the PS3 for PlayStation Plus members, but there's 2 more to talk about. First up, we have Eat Them. I'm starting with this because this game, well, doesn't look all that great. Essentially, this game is just a lamer version of Rampage. You create your own monster and then destroy a city, while eating people to keep your monster trucking along. The game itself has unique comic book style graphics and has a fun presentation, but its delivery is rather poor. This game is frustrating at times, and doesn't offer much beyond destroy the city. It's a tacky arcade game, and though it may be fun and charming at first, it wears off quick. There is a lot of blood though. This game received a 65% from Metacritic, which sounds bad, but wait until you see the second PS3 game. Usually, it's fun to save the best for last, but today, we're saving the worst for last. Risen 3 Titan Lords. If King Oddball is a poor man's Angry Birds, and Eat Them is a poor man's Rampage, then this game is a poor man's Skyrim. The setting of this game is the same as Risen 2, but is upgraded and admittedly much better looking. The thing is, nothing in this game is any better than just average. Combat is somewhat stiff, companions all play similarly, and the gameplay itself is repetitive and rather dull. The plot is pretty interesting, where you play as somebody trying to reconnect with their soul, but the journey to get there is rather tedious. There is some variety in the combat later on with summon spells and other combos, but it doesn't really make this game worth playing. If you like action RPGs, it's worth a shot, but this game won't change your life the way games like Skyrim or Breath of the Wild would. This game was rated pretty poorly on Metacritic, with only a 36%. So that's it. To sum it up, there isn't really anything worthwhile for the PS3 or PS Vita, but the PS4 has a couple of games that are worth trying out. Thanks for watching, and let me know how you feel about May's lineup. Hope to see you guys around.